Okay, we're still working on task 2 here. I've aligned my text to the right, grouped it together. I'm going to um, I'm going to put some color on the page. Let's put a colored text box on the page. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so I can see my whole page a little easier. Okay, to put a box of color, you can use a text box, you can use a shape. The text box button is here. If you wanted to do a rectangle full of shape, you could draw a rectangle. Both will be exactly the same. I'm going to use a text box just because it doesn't come with a border, whereas a rectangle comes with a thin black line border. So I'm going to click on the text box button, and I'm going to drag a colored text box from above my business information 12 text box somewhere down the page. Now you can drag a text box right off your page. And actually, you can keep dragging it for miles and miles. When you print, it's going to get cut off at where your printer settings are set at. So if I need to resize, I'm going to use the handles. I like to use the corner handles a lot because then not only can I go vertically, but I can go horizontally as well. So I can drag it wider or longer or shorter or narrower. So maybe I'll try to line it up a little bit here with the borders of the blue borders. I'm going to stay with those. Notice when I move my text boxes, I always like to move them so they're not overlapping. It makes it very easy to move each box. For example, if I take BIM 12 and I overlap it with Exploration Design, it becomes very difficult to tell where is the top of one text box, where's the bottom of the next one. So I like to move them so that the text boxes aren't actually physically touching each other. I can see the boundaries that way. Alright, back to the colored text box. I've placed a text box on my screen. It's pushed all my words out of the way. I'm going to ignore that for now. Don't be upset if it does the same thing to you. To see options for a text box, you double click anywhere along the border. So I'm just on the left side here. I'm going to double click on it. It's going to bring up the Format Text Box dialog box. Fill color is the top option. I'm going to click here and pick a nice gold color. And if you're happy with the preview, you like the look, click OK. You could add a thick border around it of color if you wanted to. Put a very thin border of blue around it. You can increase the weight if you want. You'll get a big thick blue border. I'm going to select no line to go around the edge of mine and just click OK. It's filled with yellow. Now the text box, because I put this on last, it layered it over top of all my other text boxes. So I want to put it behind, which is another skill with almost everything you're going to do in Publisher. Whenever you put a new item on your page, it is a new layer on top of what was already there. They don't call it layer in Publisher though, they call it order. I'm going to right click on the text box. Anywhere along the border here, just right click on the edge of it. You're going to see the word order. Order allows you to bring that object all the way to the front. Well, that yellow text box is all the way to the front. Or, oops, let me try that again. I accidentally clicked. I'm going to right click again and go to order. I could send it all the way to the back. That's what I want to do. You'll notice it always it will often say bring forward or send backward. These are used if you have multiple layers and you just want to you want to bring something one layer forward or send your item one layer backwards, kind of like shuffling cards in a deck. I'm going to click on send it all the way to the back, and all of the other items of text will now be written over top of it. Just a cautionary word, if you are choosing a color, make sure that if you have dark text, you're choosing a light color, so it makes it easy to read. If I chose something like, I just double clicked on the text box again, if I went with a dark color, you're going to lose text. Black on black is not going to show up, so if you're staying with black text, pick a light color. Go with more colors if you want. Choose something nice and light, and click OK. When you're done, I can click Save this time because this is task 2 and I just want to update and overwrite my previous version of task 2. Save.